Hello, everybody, and good morning. This is Jim, and I'm here today with Kelly and one of our agents, Norma. You get to hear me first today because Kelly's voice has left, and not saying that I'm happy about that or anything, but when she's telling me to do something, I can't really hear her.
My voice went away this week. I was so worried about doing this radio show. It's come back just enough. Jim still pretends he can't hear me at home.
What? So good morning, everybody, and welcome to the show. Today we're joined with our guest, Norma, who's one of our agents. Good morning, Norma.
Good morning. How are you doing?
Good. How are you today?
Good.
So you're excited to be here?
Oh, just thrilled. Always happy to be here.
It's fun. We have fun on this show.
Oh, absolutely.
So our topic today is, what's our topic today, Kel?
Why use a realtor?
Oh, that's a good topic.
You could buy and sell real estate on your own. People can sell their house for sale by owner. You could buy unrepresented, or what most of the time happens when you're not represented is you end up being semi-represented by the listing agent.
Yeah.
So Norma had a good idea to bring this topic to the table today. So we want to talk about the benefits of using a realtor, whether you're buying or selling. So first, let's talk from the buying side. And Norma's got a lot of experience in this because she's been in the business for how many years?
About 9 years.
Okay, so long time. I've been doing this for 18 years. Jim's been in for 5-ish now.
Yeah, 2014. Yeah, it's almost 2000.
Yeah. So you're talking to people who know what they're talking about. Okay.
We've seen a lot of stuff.
Right.
It's fun.
A lot of the stuff that we're going to be going over, you can find later on our Facebook page. You can search Facebook for Kelly Warren and Associates. You can go to our website, kellysoldit.com, for information on buying or selling and information on meeting our team, seeing Norma and what she's about and everything. And so we're going to jump in. If you're buying a home, why should you use a realtor? What do you guys think?
Well, do you want me to go first?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. So the big thing I think is, when that's the part as a buyer that it doesn't cost you nothing to have a real estate agent.
I agree. Number one reason, representation to you as a buyer's agent, completely free. Why would you not use a realtor?
Right. Well, and the thing is, you're getting ready to go make the biggest purchase of your life, and you, especially if you've never done it before, or even if you have done it before, if you've done it before, you understand the value of having someone in your corner to negotiate for you, to do what's in your best interest and not what's in the best interest of the seller, because that seller already has a contract and an agreement with that agent. So they have to do what's in that seller's best interest, not what's in the buyer's best interest. Where if you hire your own buyer's agent, and what I mean by hire is you meet with them, you agree to work with them, and they'll go over some documentation and whatnot for you about what it means to hire a real estate agent. And that is probably one of the most important things for you as a buyer to start that process, because then you'll have somebody who is going to be focused on you and not focused on selling that house, which is very important.
Exactly. And your buyer's agent too, they try to get to know everything about you, the criteria you're looking for, and they know the areas in that you're wanting to possibly buy in. And it's important that they have all that information, because they can do a search over those specific areas and with all that specific detail. So what you're looking for, you're not at random, not knowing, a lot of things, or looking at a lot of homes and everything and wasting a lot of time. So they're able to direct you with that.
I think that's a big key. So we said buyer's representation is free. So then what is buyer's representation? So one thing is, it's a very relational business. So relationship wise, we get to know you and what you're looking for and what's in your best interest. So like Norma was saying, we can do some of that research and stuff for you. And also that saves you as the buyer time. because
time.
it saves you the time of doing that research. But also, if you're not working with an agent and you want to see house A, house B, house C, and you're going to call the phone number on each sign, you're going to see this one Tuesday afternoon, this one Thursday night, this one Saturday morning. Or if you're working with an agent, we set up all 3 of those houses back to back to you Tuesday afternoon. We go out and look at all 3 of them in a row. You get to compare what you like and what you don't like. We as your agent get to figure out, okay, so they liked this and they didn't like this. Now I understand more of what they're looking for. So now when I go and set up round 2 of some other houses for you to see next week, I know, okay, we want more like house number A. They liked that.
Yeah.
So we help guide and find what you're looking for.
Well, along those lines, I mean, I remember the time you were working with a buyer and they started to come out of their shell a little bit and they said, well, I really like this, but I don't like that. And then you thought of a house that was on the other side of town.
I know exactly who you're talking about.
And you said, now that I know that about you guys, I know where your perfect house is.
That was Dawn and Rodney, and I am Facebook friends with them. That relationship has lasted far beyond their sale. And that was actually the first house I showed them. They walked into a house in Liberty that we had listed. They were like, okay, I like this, I don't like this, this is what I want, this isn't. And I was like, I've got the house that you're describing. I have the perfect house for you, but it's not in Liberty, it's in Lordstown. And they were like, well, I don't know, I wasn't thinking about Lordstown. I'm like, let's go see it. They bought that house. They love it. They're still there. I see them all the time.
That day you sold them that house, I think you sat down.
I just knew
with them,
it was the house for
called
them.
Called the owners, negotiated them and the owners at the table that day. Like it blew my mind. So.
Well, that's one of the things too. Buyers agents, they get so familiar with all the homes that we see on the MLS. We may not view all of them, but a lot of us are looking through that MLS constantly, so we know where to plug our buyers in at, you know.
Right.
So, but another thing with buyers agents I think that is so important is the fact that they take care of all the paperwork, and it can be very overwhelming, and a lot of it has to do with legal information and that they really need to know, and
Yes.
that helps protect them. And so we are, we are basically doing that for them, and we are very professional about that because that really has a lot to do with a buyer with a sale running real smooth or,
so to me, that's one of the biggest components, and that's a crossover piece that is the most important for buyers and sellers, why you would work with a real estate agent, because to keep the transaction legal, make sure that earnest money is held properly, to make sure that your property disclosures are filled out, that you didn't miss a document, that the addendums are clearly spelled out, does the refrigerator stay or not, all of those pieces.
Yeah, well,
Exactly.
So from the buyer side, you have so many different steps. So not only do you get to meet these people and know these people and really find out what they're looking for and really be able to pin down their house for them as an agent, which is fun, but then you get into the business avenue of it and making sure that the house that they buy isn't stuck under tax liens, or those liens don't continue with that property or things like that, so that when they buy the home that they found that is perfect and they absolutely love it, the title is free and clear. And working with us gets you to that avenue and puts you down the right path to make sure that it's your home when you're done with it. So
if you're just tuning in, you're listening to Real Estate Radio here with Kelly Warren and Associates. We sell real estate right here in the Valley. We're the #1 agents in the area, and we've got some great buyers agents and sellers agents that are looking forward to working with you. Norma on the air with us this morning is one of those agents. You can reach her at 330-559-9262. Our office number, you can call or text, is 717-2689. You can find us online at kellysoldit.com. And if you want to be part of the conversation later this half an hour, we're going to be taking calls from our listeners. Go ahead and email any questions that you have. Not calls, I'm sorry. We're taking emails. You can email us at askkelly@kellysoldit.com. I know, right?
We're still kind of green to this.
So if you do have real estate questions on why you would want to use a realtor or anything else, feel free, email us your questions, askkelly@kellysoldit.com. My voice sounds fantastic. All right, we're going to flip the switch here. So why do you need to use a realtor if you're a seller? What are some of the main reasons there?
Well, one of the main reasons is that for the seller, their home will get much more exposure to buyers, because when you hire a real estate agent, it's like hiring all the real estate agents in that association, because they all have buyers and they're looking for homes to plug those buyers into. So really, the exposure that somebody gets, and it goes out into, funnels out into like all of these different websites. I think that said about 900 websites.
Yeah, I love the way you said that. When you hire an agent, you're hiring all of the agents.
Yeah.
That's really
Any
how it
agent
is.
can sell the house. That's a great way to look at that. So
Yeah.
the marketing, the exposure, the advertising, these are some of the best reasons why you would hire a real estate agent instead of putting a sign in your yard for sale by owner. Because this is what we do. You know, if your job is an engineer or a retail manager or a press operator or a doctor, you go do that. Let us market and advertise your house. This is what we do day in and day out. We know how to sell houses. So we put you on over 900 websites, about 1,000 websites, professional photography, video tours, high-end flyers, word of mouth, network marketing. Like we said with the buyer side, we know the inventory, we know the buyers, we're matchmaking and putting them together.
Mm-hmm.
So why would you not hire a realtor for that exposure to get your home sold?
Yeah, well, even so, thinking about it, and in our office, we have every single one of our agents right now are like, I can't find a house for this buyer. Like there are so many buyers that still want to buy houses, but they're just not out there. The second that one meets their criteria, our agents are getting them out to them immediately.
Yeah.
So it's immediately going to, hey, this is one of the houses that you might like. So they get to see it. They get to scroll through the pictures, make sure that it is something they want to see, and then we're going to call and schedule an appointment for them to come in there and see it.
Do you hear that, listeners? If you are thinking about selling, Jim just said we have got agents, not just an agent, not just a buyer, but agents and buyers who are sitting there waiting for homes to come on the market to meet their criteria. So if you've been tossing around the idea of selling, the holidays are over this week. No more excuses. Let's hop into 2019 and get your house on the market.
Yeah. So with that being said, the other thing is, if I go, so say I'm a buyer and I'm looking, and I drove through this neighborhood and I looked and nothing for sale in there, and I would like to live in that neighborhood, but there's nothing there. So I start looking everywhere else. Well, let's say the day after I drive there, Joe Blow at 123 Main Street puts a for sale by owner sign in his yard. Well, I just missed it. Like I've already missed it. But if I have an agent and Joe Blow hires Sally agent, puts a sign in the yard, it goes into our system. All the agents now know it's there.
Right.
They all send it to all their clients.
Right.
Now all their clients see that it's there. So I drove through the neighborhood yesterday. There was nothing. I get an email. Hey, this is here now. I can drive back by. I can see if it's something I like. So just like that, you have instant information going to the people.
We even kind of have private market knowledge too, because there might not be a home for sale in that neighborhood right now, but I might be friends with, Anthony, an agent at another company, who might have said to me in a conversation or made a Facebook post or something that, hey, I've got this property coming soon. So I might know in that neighborhood in Canfield that you're looking at, there's going to be a 3-bedroom ranch coming up for sale next month. So it might not be on the market, but if you've got an agent that you're working with, like I said, the word of mouth and the network marketing is huge too.
I've also known somebody who was an agent, and basically they had a buyer that wanted to live in a particular neighborhood, and what they did was they sent out letters, because that was the neighborhood they wanted, no hands down. So they sent out letters to that whole neighborhood, and they got a home in that particular neighborhood that they loved.
Yeah, we'll do whatever it takes to find your
Yeah,
home.
I mean, really, there's a lot of strategy that goes into, trying to sell a home, but sellers don't realize how many buyers that we have sitting there waiting for these homes to come on the market. So if you have a home, this is the time to do it before the market changes, because it may flip.
Yeah. Well, and like with our stuff, I mean, you could come into the office any day and sit down with me, and I could pull up a list of buyers and what they're looking for. I mean, we probably have hundreds of them sitting there waiting right now because our market's been so tight for so long.
So some other reasons that people might want to use a realtor instead of listing their home by owner is, we had already talked about the legal aspect, the paperwork, the disclosures, all those kind of things. But what about the safety aspect?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So
oh, yeah.
as a seller, can you imagine putting your house on the market? You get a phone call from a buyer. They say, I want to come see it tomorrow at noon. You say, I can't show it to you tomorrow at noon. I work Monday through Friday, 9 to 5. I could show it to you after 5 or on the weekends. Now you're telling the whole world you're not home until after 5 every day.
Yeah.
So, you know, I hate to use the phrase like casing the joint or something, but these buyers now know your schedule and now know when you're available and when you're not home. They can see your pictures that you put up online. They know what's in your house.
Yeah.
So safety aspect with using a realtor is huge. And the last thing before we jump into break on this that I think is worth its weight in gold is the value of the middleman. There is weight in having a middleman in a transaction. I go to the jewelry store, I buy a watch, I decide that same day I don't want this watch, and I put it up on like buy, sell, trade or a garage sale. I'm not getting a fraction of what I paid for it. It's not worth any less, but it's the perceived value in the middleman that makes that worth it. We're going to head into a break quickly here. Thank you for listening. If you're enjoying the show, you're thinking about selling your home, that's what we do best, day in and day out. We sell homes for happy customers. Go to kellysoldit.com, that's kellysoldit.com, and contact us to give us the opportunity to apply for the job of selling your home. If you have any questions, you can email askkelly@kellysoldit.com. We'll be right back. Welcome back. You're listening to Real Estate Radio, where we're talking about real estate right here in the Valley. Today I'm in the studio with Jim and Norma, and we were talking about the value of why using a real estate agent instead of going this alone. So much great topic that we didn't even get to get into our home picks of the weeks or our questions. So we're going to use the second half of the segment here to do that now. If you are considering buying a home and you've been listening and you do want to use a realtor, we have some great agents in our office. Our staff is committed and dedicated to meeting your home buying needs. Give us a call at 717-2689. And to hear about a couple of the houses that we have on the market right now, I'm going to have us go into our home pick of the week. What do you have for me, Jim?
It's not Big Jim this week.
Oh, you want to be Big Jim? Go ahead.
It's okay. Your voice is gone. I was actually wondering if you were going to have me start this part or you, but
I just jumped right in.
Yeah, you did. I worry about you sometimes. Okay, so my pick of the week. This house is absolutely gorgeous. The address is 1311 Meadowwood Circle in Poland.
I'm in love with that home.
You would be. This one is listed at $595. This is Boardman Township, Poland mailing. So it's also Boardman Schools. But these homes in this neighborhood, this is that neighborhood right when you get off of 680 and Western Reserve, and you look over to the left and you see that giant castle. I think there's a second one now.
Yeah.
So it's the neighborhood that has the two castles in the front of it. The homes back there are absolutely gorgeous. And I know
you can't beat that location. If you work out of the area, if you're constantly traveling, that is minutes from freeways and turnpikes, get you anywhere you need to go.
Well, from our house, it takes about, 45 minutes, 50 minutes to get to Pittsburgh Airport. From this place, because you're hopping right on 680, you could probably be to the airport within 30 minutes.
Maybe 40. I don't know.
Really? Okay. I made it up.
Jim's promising here. Tell me a little bit more about the house.
Okay, so the house anyhow. So beautiful home. 5 bedrooms, 5 bathrooms. It has one of those spiral staircases that
beautiful
are
staircase,
absolutely gorgeous. I love a house that has a beautiful staircase when you walk into it. Like, it reminds me of Gone with the Wind or any of those big time mansions in the movies. And
this one certainly is a mansion. So, marble tile throughout, 2-story great room.
It's just
finished basement.
7,300 square feet, including the basement.
Yeah, now that is a house.
Wow.
Yeah.
I would get lost. each one of my kids would have like 1,500
You
square
get
feet
your
to
own
live in.
wing, yeah.
Right? Like, that's crazy.
If you are interested, Jim's talking about 1311 Meadowood Circle. What's our asking price on that one, Jim?
$595.
And you can find that online at kellysoldit.com. Norma, what's your home pick of the week?
Well, this particular home is kind of more in my price range. So it's 70 Overhill Road in Boardman. It was built actually in 1937, and it has a lot of character. It has almost 2,000 square foot.
That's another good sized family home, and that's in the Glen in Boardman. That's a fantastic area, rich in history, character. I love those houses.
Beautiful. Yeah. The house is like immaculate. It's just really beautiful.
It's been updated too. It's a nice home.
And the landscaping and everything is really, really nice with that too. They have a lot of different areas that you could tell that they put in there, and it just really complements the home, gives it a lot of curb appeal.
Yeah, it's got that park-like feel.
Yes.
And it has a sunroom and one of those patios. What is that? That like flagstone patio. So lots of character, very pretty.
And that list price is $129,900.
And that's 70 Overhill in Boardman, and you can find it online at kellysoldit.com. My home pick of the week is 6627 Vernet in Austintown. We're asking $299,900 on this. This home is crazy cool. It's unique, one of a kind. I think this is only the second owner. 3 acres with a 20-foot deep pond that's stocked with fish. But the back of the property backs right up to the hike and bike trail for Mill Creek. So if you're a nature lover, it's beautiful. It's fantastic. There's a first floor bedroom on the home. There's a second floor master. There's a lofted room that could be a bedroom. There's another huge suite off of the master that could be an additional bedroom. So 3-4 bedrooms depending on how you want to work it.
Did you say a stocked pond?
Yes. Stocked pond, 3 acres.
Jimmy and Matthew would never leave that pond.
There are decks and patios and balconies. Like, this home is like, if you're an outdoors person, this is where you want to live.
Even Matthew, I think, would just be rolling around in the mud. And Jimmy would yell at him to get away from me. I'm trying to fish.
Yes, our kids would love this house. It does have a finished basement. Half of it is a rec room with a bar, and half of it is a fitness home gym, and he's willing to leave the equipment too. 3-car attached garage. That's 6627 Vernet in Austintown at $299,900. You guys have got to see this home. You can find the pictures online at kellysoldit.com. If you want to see any of these properties or anything else that we have listed or anything else on the market at all, remember, we can show you any house listed with anybody. You can go to kellysoldit.com, or you can give us a call or text at 717-2689. We have agents like Norma and Jim and myself and the other agents that you've been hearing from each week that would love to show you these properties. Let's hop into our questions. Remember, listeners, you can email us anytime. Ask Kelly at kellysoldit.com with any real estate related question. We are not attorneys or CBAs. We are realtors, but we love answering your questions, helping you out, helping you to understand the real estate industry a little bit better. So what do we have this week, Jim?
So now that you bring up attorneys,
it's going to be a good question.
One of our listeners wrote, I'm getting divorced. How will that affect the sale of my home?
Well, so it doesn't need to affect it at all, honestly. It's depends on you and your spouse.
Right. There's a lot of things that can, I think, come up in this process.
The contract
Yeah.
usually determines
Yeah.
what their
Well,
divorce.
Yes, your divorce will sometimes stipulate if there's a certain realtor that you need to use. If not, call us, interview us. It will also determine who is staying in the house. Are you both there? Is one of you there? Really, if you can work together, if you can put up with each other enough to get the sale through, that's the best in our case and in your case too, frankly. So just, being amicable with each other will make the sale go easier.
It's got to be a very tough situation, and I pray a lot for people going through something like this, but the process of it is stressful, and you're going through that fight when you're separating with someone, and then you're going through trying to split up all your stuff, so it's going to be a hard process. I recommend that you obviously try to work together to get through the process, because this isn't something you want hanging over your heads after you're already split or after you're going through this process, because
Right.
then you still have to deal with it. It's still, if you both sign for the house, it's both your health. So, you know, it's a tough process, that's for sure.
On our end, the marketing, advertising, all that stuff doesn't change. We are sensitive to your needs. We will certainly work with you. We've been through many of these type of sales before. So if you could just fill us in, and I can respond to your email directly too. Fill us in a little bit about what your situation is and who's living in the home and when it needs to be sold by, and we will certainly help you out and get you there.
Yeah.
What else do we have?
All right, we got another one from Stacy from Canfield. My basement has bowing walls. This is common in Canfield with the clay soil. Do I need a structural engineer to sell?
Do you need one?
Such
No.
fun questions. The buyers might want to hire one.
Right. So this kind of ties in with our topic earlier. Why use a realtor?
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. Because so as the buyer is obviously looking to purchase a home, they want to purchase a home that they know is safe, sound, and secure. And this is one of those homes that if your walls are bowing, they need to make sure that they're settled, that they're done moving, and that the home is safe and secure for their family when they move in. A structural engineer can come out and check that stuff and test that stuff and make sure that it's fine. There are a ton of different options to correcting a bowing wall or making a bowing wall structurally sound.
The home could be sold as is if the bank financing would let it be. So to answer the question, no, you don't need one. But if it were my buyer, I would certainly recommend that they get one. A lot of times the financing will require that they get one. And another benefit of using a realtor is we have those connections. We've dealt with this issue and every issue in the past. So we know who to call and how to make it work. And we know to not panic the buyer. It's not the end of the world. The sale can still go through. If you love the home, we can find ways to make it work. So again, I'll email you directly with a little bit more information on that too.
Sometimes too, the seller is a little bit proactive and they go ahead and get an engineer to come out, and
Right.
it's worth $150 to have them look at it and tell you what the problem is and maybe what the cost would be. And that way sometimes buyers, that does ease buyers, I think.
It does. I think that's about all, folks. We're running out of time. I want to thank you for tuning in and for listening our first couple of weeks. We've had a great year so far with our real estate radio show and our market in general. Merry Christmas to all of you from Kelly Warren and Associates. If you have any questions, email us at askkelly@kellysoldit.com. Thank you.